Hi, I'm Gabby, and this is Xavier's Extreme Media. For the last video of senior year, I asked seniors how they want to be remembered.
For being editor of The Express and having way too high of self-esteem.
For participating in varsity baseball for 3 years.
Short shorts, good hair, and high self-confidence.
For being witty.
For drinking coffee.
Cheering at the state football game.
For helping with Xavier's show choir.
For somebody who loves art.
The kid that liked the weather a lot.
I hope you remember me for bringing Ho-Oh in at prom.
For making my friends laugh. For all the volleyball memories.
For my musical involvement and accomplishments, as well as my faith.
For my involvement in lots of activities.
Probably my yellow card count.
For bringing home that state football title.
For being part of the show choir group that got 4 grand champs in 2 years.
For being part of the football team.
Somebody who always worked hard in wrestling.
For having red hair.
For being extremely mediocre at everything.
For having a lot of internships.
For being artsy. For my art projects.
For the Twitter video of Anna falling over hurdles. For the video that Teresa posted of me falling over hurdles. For being called Grace Moon.
I hope people remember me as a cool guy.
For not caring what other people thought.
For my voice crack freshman year.
I want to be remembered for being the principal's kid.
For being part of the 2% at Xavier.
For driving around the blue bug and having the longest hair. For my love of books and movies, as well as my really loud sneeze.
For being the anchor on the winning 4x-Fat team.
For getting excited about the littlest things.
For getting hit in the face in show choir and having my nose bleed for the rest of the show.
For having good character.
For being the lowest basis Noah Lauer.
For being a good person to talk to.
For being a good friend.
For my ability to laugh at everything and anyone I wrote letters to.
For tumbling at the football and basketball games.
I want people to remember me for actually getting a girlfriend.
My outstanding performances in the back row of every show choir.
For being goofy.
For being a kind person.
For winning 2 state championships in basketball.
For making volleyball games fun to watch.
For how much I genuinely cared about our class.
For getting the first touchdown in the state championship game.
For having bleached hair.
For being called Tanae by every friend and teacher.
For being a positive person.
For the time I put diesel in my car. For only being in JV sports and for realizing after 4 years that JV is where it's at.
For making it to state in cross country.
I want to be remembered as a great cook.
I want to be remembered as a trusted person. For being brutally honest.
For always having a fun fact.
For being a nuisance in physics.
For being involved in a variety of activities.
For my artwork.
For my music.
For my curveball in baseball.
For being a good friend to everyone.
For winning a state championship in football.
For being on the football state championships.
For large successes in BPA.
For having the cutest dog.
For my kindness and for my lovingness and my sweetness and my protectiveness towards others.
For being fun to be around.
For my performance in sports.
For getting involved with as many activities as I could senior year.
For my shirt being untucked. For not being hated.
For being the curve breaker.
For being the shortest in the grade and for being a triplet. For my faith life.
For my hard work and dedication.
For being a farmer.
For my mom working in the office.
For being a good listener.
For being someone that can make you laugh.
For being a role model.
For Sweater Vest Wednesdays.
For my opinion articles in The Express and being the editor-in-chief.
For not being a senior.
For being a friendly person.
Por siendo mexicano de dos.
For holding my breath for almost 4 minutes. For being part of the second football team to ever win state.
For falling during a halftime performance sophomore year that no one remembers except for me.
For being a good friend.
For adding a sweatshirt to the dress code.
For swimming.
For going to high school for 5 years.
Defeated. For being, I want to be for being defeated.
I want to be remembered for my success at BPA.
For being a fun guy. For having good character.
For procrastinating my college decision.
For always having a positive outlook.
For helping the robotics team get to state.
For my martial arts skills.
For wearing Crocs to every show choir competition.
For making it to State Bowling.
For being a decent human being.
For being the new kid from Minnesota that came freshman year.
For always singing in class.
For chopping my hair senior year.
For always grading Mrs. Moses' jokes and quote of the day. For being the best tennis player at Xavier.
For being a kind person.
For having a positive attitude.
For hanging some community banners.
For being Nina from Nina's Nachos.
The biggest red.
For making a positive impact on people around me.
For coming to Xavier to play volleyball.
For always making people smile.
For making Mr. Walker hate me.
My incredible procrastination skills and my quick wit.
For having a great beard.
For never knowing what to say.
For being a positive person.
For all the volleyball memories.
For my painting of Mr. Ellsworth.
For getting Xavier's first tennis championship.
For always wearing fun socks.
For being an outdoorsman.
For being the girl with the yellow truck. For my sense of humor and puns.
For helping my friends with their homework.
For being hardworking.
For being an interesting character.
For having a box of cereal in my backpack every day.
For my golf accomplishments.
For being a caring person.
For winning a state championship.
For always bringing the speaker to the student section.
For my overwhelming enthusiasm.
For winning the first girls IBA championship.
For being a part of the state championship football team.
For having no ACL the majority of my high school career.
For going into the military.
For the boys.
For being involved in many different activities.
For solving Rubik's Cube.
For being involved in football and tennis.
For being involved in track shooting.
For blocking the most shots in a career.
For playing on varsity soccer all 4 years.
For growing spiritually and emotionally in myself.
For capturing our senior year through the camera. For being the tallest out of the triplets.
For all my hard work and accomplishments.
For being Bernie the mascot.
For being drum major junior and senior year.
For being laid back.
I want to be remembered for playing soccer.
For my nearly perfect attendance.
For my academic achievements.
For being a nice guy.
For moving to Florida sophomore year and coming back junior year.
For always being supportive of my classmates at sporting events.
For being a leader on K30 and hopefully making a difference in one person's life.
For putting the boys' heads on the shirts for the state football game.
For my involvement in speech and the theater department.
For my growth as a person throughout my 4 years of high school.
For my involvement in football and also for being a nice guy.
For being a good friend.
For always being in the LMC.
For being in band.
For breaking the JV record.
For having the craziest hair. For all of the shenanigans at cross-country team bonding.
For calling prom homecoming prom.
For being in speech and making it to All-State.
For my love of theater and art. For being a supportive person.
For my development as a friend and as a person over the last 4 years.
I hope people remember me for starting up Extreme Media.
We used to have it all, but now's our curtain call. So hold for the applause, oh, 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 oh. And wave out to the crowd and take our fight.